In this video, we're going to deal with that common problem of clients who ask us, oh, could you quickly just fit in this job? If you're asked by clients to fit in a last minute job, it's a tough one. If they're a regular client that doesn't do it very often, then it's fine. But if it's a client that's done it more than once, then they're showing they don't respect our time. And that is a red flag. So we have to think, actually, we're probably going to have to say no to this. And it's difficult to say no, but this is part of your growth and your improvement, because if you say no, they'll respect you or they'll leave. Either way, it's not going to be happening again. And we have to be comfortable allowing this to happen. And there's nothing worse. Look, I get it. If they're a big client and they're worth lots of money to you, it's hard to say no. I understand that. But this is a red flag. And long term, they're going to keep doing it. And it's only going to, be causing headaches for you and ruining your client relationships and making you stressed. So I'm not a fan of this behavior. So my first thing is like, how can you just fit this in? No, I can't. Now, what you can do, if you don't want to say no, this is how I'd handle it. So the first thing is, I think this might even be an opportunity to create a unique service in your business, which is a fast turnaround, deliberate service. So you go, yeah, we do this. We do 24-hour turnarounds. We'll build your website in 24 hours. However, it's super expensive and we need a lot of information up front, and this is how we do it. So that might be an opportunity, just as a side note. But the two things are, so if you don't want to do it, you just explain to them, look, I'm really sorry, but we can't bump you to the front of the queue because we're already busy working on client work. And if we were working on your jobs and someone else came along and expected us to bump you, you wouldn't want that either. So I'm sorry, we just can't do it this time. I hope you understand. Very diplomatic way just to sort of avoid the problem. But if you do want to do it, which I totally understand, this is what I would recommend. So I would absolutely charge a rush fee, which is where you're going to charge more to fit it in because it's a last minute job. And you're going to explain, yeah, I can fit this in, but it's going to cost you more because I'm going to have to pay for someone to take over the work I was doing so I can jump on this job for you. So it's actually going to cost double because you're paying for my fee plus the fee of the other person I've got to bring in to work on it. Once you explain that it's going to cost double because that's where the money's going to go, you can ask them, are you okay to pay for that? And if they say, yeah, that's fine, then we're in a good place because you're getting paid properly, everyone's getting paid properly, and the client you were working on, they're not noticing any dip or quality in their work because someone else is handling that job now. The big thing here, though, is they have to pay you before you start, because if you say yes and they say yes and it's all good and you get started, and then because they're probably a bit of a shitty client, they delay on the payment and they question the payment. Why is it so much? And, oh, we didn't pay that last time. And now you're into this nightmare scenario of like, I've got to pay someone to cover my job, so I'm out of pocket. I've done the work for you and now you won't pay me. So you're a double arsehole. And this is a nightmare. So my instinctive response is probably to say no. But if you want to say yes, always charge. If you're unsure, double your rate or triple them if it's the weekend. And then explain where that money's going. Get them to agree on it before you do any work, and get them to pay before you do any work. If they don't pay you and you don't do any work, nothing's lost really. But like I said, you need to establish hard deadlines of like, well, this is what it will cost. I need payment by this time, and make sure the payment arrives. And if that's all cool and they do that, that's all fine. And then it's up to you whether you want to have that conversation afterwards and say, look, how did this happen? Why you ended up with this last minute job? Is this going to be happening again? Because like if it is, we've actually got a new service that handles this specifically. And this is something that you might want to consider hiring us for. It's much more comprehensive. It's much more organized. And with a little bit of notice, we can always guarantee we can do last minute jobs for you. But obviously it's priced a little bit higher than normal. And they might be up for that. They might go, yeah, do you know what? We like to respond to things fairly on the fly. Now we know your rates. We can bear that in mind, and that's fine. And then, like I said, you've launched a new service and everyone's happy. So that's what I would think about doing.